Hi everyone. Today we'll explore one of the most important questions for anyone interested in buying real estate in Bali. Why could foreigners own land outright on a freehold basis? What are the different purchase options for investors? And how can you secure a long-term lease properly? Stay with us to find out all the answers to these questions and more. First, let's get into why foreigners can't fully own land in Indonesia. The reason is rooted in Indonesia's colonial past. During Portuguese and Dutch rule, most land was owned by the colonial administration and foreign companies, severely limiting local rights. After gaining independence in 1945, the government took steps to prevent such scenarios from reoccurring. In 1960, the Agrarian Reform Law was enacted, declaring that land belongs to the Indonesian people. Since then, full land ownership, or complete freehold rights, are available only to Indonesian citizens. So, what if you're a foreigner wanting to buy property in Bali? There are several legal ways to do this. The first and the most popular option remains the leasehold, also known as hak sewa. This is a long-term land lease, and here is how it works. The leasehold, or hak sewa in Indonesian, grants the right to lease land or property for a fixed period of time. Leaseholds in Indonesia are structured in the following way. The tenant, usually a foreigner, and the landowner, an Indonesian citizen or company, sign a lease agreement defining the terms, lease duration, and each party's rights. Contracts can range from 25, 30, 60, or even 99 years, depending on the agreement and current laws. The lease must be notarized for legal validity. For long-term leases, it's essential to register the agreement with the National Land Agency, which is also known as BPN, to guarantee tenant rights. Registering with BPN avoids disputes and confirms that lease rights are legally recognized by the government. While it's not full land ownership, leasehold offers rights to build, manage, and lease the property. In practice, it closely resembles freehold rights for the duration of the lease term. This ownership type allows foreigners to use the property for personal needs or to rent it out for income. The leasehold option is often used to buy villas and apartments in Bali in order to earn passive income. Thus, an individual can legally own property on a leasehold basis, making this option attractive for those wanting to invest in Bali real estate without setting up a company or forming legal agreements with local citizens. We understand that many have concerns. Is it actually secure? After all, a foreign country has its own rules. But rest assured, long-term leases are a well-established and reliable practice, widely used by foreigners in Bali. Thousands worldwide have successfully invested in properties in Bali without facing significant risks or unforeseen issues. It's also important to remember that buying property in Bali is primarily an investment. Many properties are purchased not just for personal relaxation, but specifically for generating income. And it's an investment that can be returned within 5 to 6 years. Then, for the next 30, 40, or even 50 years, the property generates steady profit, essentially becoming a source of passive income. With Bali's growing tourist influx, it's one of the best places for investment, where your property works for you. So don't worry, with the right approach and a reliable team, your purchase can be both secure and highly profitable. You might have heard of another method of owning properties, which unfortunately often misleads investors, and that is setting up company ownership. Here, many developers promise freehold rights to potential investors on a permanent basis, but this isn't exactly how it works. If you set up a company in Bali to own property, it's essential to know that outright land ownership via freehold, also known as hak milik, is not available for foreign-owned companies. However, by setting up a PMA, which is a foreign investment company, you can come close to freehold status through other rights, like Hak Guna Bangunan, also known as HGB, and this is how it works. A PMA is a company where a foreigner can own up to 100% of the capital. in certain economic sectors, including real estate. A PMA has the right to acquire property registered under Hak Guna Bangunan, also known as HGB, which grants building ownership and the right to use the land for commercial purposes. HGB grants ownership and usage rights for up to 30 years, with the option to extend for 20 plus 30 years. After extension, the HGB can be converted, essentially offering lifetime ownership for business purposes. Although the law doesn't allow a PMA to hold hak milik, if the company is later transferred to an Indonesian citizen, the rights can be converted from HGB to hak milik. One more method, not as popular but worth mentioning, is through a local nominee. In this scenario, a foreigner signs an agreement with an Indonesian citizen, listed on paper as the property owner. Additional contracts are needed, and these include a loan agreement. This is where the foreigner lends the purchase amount to buy the land. There is the power of attorney. This gives the foreigner the right to manage the property, such as selling and leasing it. And then there is the hak pakai. This is where the foreigner is granted usage rights for 30 years with renewal options. However, this method carries risks. If the Indonesian owner breaches the contract, your property rights could be in danger. Properly drafting a lease agreement and notarizing it ensures solid protection for your rights. We've explored various ownership methods, though thanks to the flexibility and accessibility of a leasehold, you can realize your plans in Bali without worrying about legal hurdles. Remember, working with trusted lawyers and agencies is essential for a smooth transaction. Bali welcomes you with open opportunities for leisure and investment. We would also like to highlight a very special project for those who want to come as close as possible to full property ownership in Bali, and that is Sunny Ocean View. This complex will consist of townhouses and apartments located in Sini Uluwatu with stunning ocean views. And the best part is that units here can be purchased on a freehold basis, making this project an excellent choice for reliable investment and long-term ownership. The project is already in its final stages. The building is up and the complex will be operational in about 6 months. If you're interested in learning more, check out the description below this video and book a consultation with our team. Thank you for watching until the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on new videos. See you in sunny Bali!